How are you doing, fight fans? Good to be back with you talking boxing. Just finished watching Terrence Crawford make his junior lightweight debut against Israil Madrimov. Terrence Crawford won the fight by unanimous decision. To be very honest with you, I thought that's how he would win the fight. I didn't think that he would move up in weight and knock out a bigger fighter. Those who did have definitely never seen Madrimov fight if they thought that he was going to be some type of a pushover for Terrence Crawford. Let me get to my pros and my cons. Let's start with Terrence Crawford. My pros would be his patience. He showed great patience for 12 rounds, and I think he knew probably by round 4 that this was not a fighter that he was going to knock out. The body work. I thought that Terrence's best shots were to the body. He did very good landing that straight left to the body, especially earlier in the fight. A couple of times he threw a left uppercut, right hook to the body. Thought he did a pretty good job going to the body. His defense, he did a good job of keeping his arms up, having his upper body movement. And I thought he did pretty good defense against a fighter who was throwing hard shots, and he still has pretty good foot movement. As for the cons for Terrence Crawford, usually I would say nothing, but in this fight, I would say the combinations. He did not throw a lot of, I would say, 3 and 4 shot combinations. He did a couple of times in the fight, but not like Terrence Crawford that we used to see, and I think that Madrimov had something to do with that. As for Israil, the pros would be his guard. Like Terrence Crawford, he kept his guard up, and I thought he did a pretty good job deflecting some of those shots. His straight right hand. He was throwing that straight right hand down the middle. Terrence Crawford stayed in the southpaw stance the whole fight, and he was trying to land the shot that is the best shot to land on a southpaw. And I did like the looping shots. It took him about midway through the fight to kind of figure that out, but Madrimov started to loop his left hook and his right hand. As for the cons, body work. Before the fight, they said that one of the things they were going to focus on was body work, going to the body on Terrence Crawford. They did not do that. To be honest with you, I did not see Israil land many body shots at all. He didn't focus on the body as they said. Another con would be the off-balance right hand. Even though I said one of his pros is the straight right hand, his right hand was off balance a lot of times, that straight right hand. When he would throw it, you could tell it's kind of like when you play a video game and you hold the button down to get to the max, whether it's a kick or a punch or something. That's kind of what he was doing. And speaking of that, my last con for him is the change in the speed. He did not change the speed on his punches. His punches all seemed to come one speed, and that was hard. And I didn't think he gave Terrence Crawford anything to be weary of. Excuse me. Let's talk about the fight. 12 rounds, tactical fight. That's pretty much what it was. There was never a moment in the fight where I got really excited, where I thought, oh boy, this is an action-packed fight, something to wake you up with a fight that's on that late in the night. It was just a tactical fight, and I'm not going to say I thought it would go that way, but it just kind of is what it is. I respect fighters who have a game plan and they stick with their game plan regardless of if the people in the crowd are jeering or booing or whatever. Hey, I'm the one in here taking these shots. I'm going to stick to my game plan. And that's pretty much how the fight went the whole way. I thought Terrence Crawford handled the first 4 or 5 rounds of the fight. Israil was still in the fight, but I thought it was more Terrence Crawford landing that jab. Like I said earlier, using, going to the body on Madrimov and kind of giving him, some, slight upper body movements to throw his shots off. The last part of the fight, I thought Madrimov came on a little more, especially around, I'm going to say rounds like 8, 9, and 10. I thought that he did his best work. He did land. So you saw Terrence Crawford's eye. He did land some of those straight right hands. So it's not like he missed all of his shots. I just think that in the end, Terrence Crawford was just a little more slick than him. We get to the end of the fight. Terrence Crawford wins by unanimous decision. Now, some people actually said that this was not a robbery, but it was should have been a little bit closer. They thought that Israil could, may have won the fight. I didn't think so. I thought that Terrence Crawford did win the fight, although it was a close fight. And I think because a lot of people don't know who Madrimov is, they've never seen him fight like some of us have. some of us boxing fans, they kind of thought, well, this guy's a nobody. How is Terrence Crawford going 12 rounds with this guy? Absolutely not true. This guy is a good fighter. He's 29 years old. He has all kind of amateur experience. And I do think that outside of Terrence Crawford, he has a chance to do great things in the junior middleweight division. As for Terrence Crawford, we keep hearing about Canelo Alvarez, that's going to be the next fight. His name just slipped, Turkai, the guy from the promoter from Saudi Arabia. I have to respect, the way he talked after the fight. He was hyped up for the Crawford Alvarez fight, but now he still said he wants that fight, but you can tell that he kind of feels that Terrence Crawford may not have the chance that some people think he has in that fight, because he said, hey, I put the offer out there to Alvarez. If he's smart, he will accept it. I feel the same way. Now, listen, people, earlier this year, I made it very clear. I don't see Terrence Crawford beating Saul Alvarez. Last night did not change my mind. I still don't see it happening. I think that Terrence Crawford, not that he had a bad performance, but I think that he's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth, just like Alvarez is, and eventually that's going to catch up. And I think that if that fight happens, it's going to be at super middleweight, which means that Terrence Crawford, for his next fight, let's say that's his next fight, he has to jump up 2 more weight divisions, and he just jumped up to junior middleweight. So now he's going to have to jump up 2 more weight divisions to fight Alvarez. People, I just don't see it happening. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't see it happening. All right, fight fans, what did you think about the fight? Did you have Madrimov winning? And I'm asking that because I actually saw people earlier this week say, I'm going with Madrimov. I think that he can win this fight. Did you have Crawford? And what do you want to see next? Do you agree with me that Israil Madrimov could be the future of the junior middleweight division? And what do you want to see Terrence Crawford do next? Do you want to maybe see Virgil Ortiz Jr. or do you want to see Saul Alvarez? If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. That's all I got for now. I'll let y'all later.